Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm Dell. I'm so happy that you're here with me today. We're going to be doing a kind of like a how-to video today, talking about the art of discernment. So if that's something you're interested in, stay tuned. That's what we're covering in today's video. So just some information about me. I am a psychic intuitive medium, and I'm always doing my work and my channeling through divine love and through a space of non-judgment. So I hold that high vibration always, and I hold that space for that. Whether I'm doing a reading or a video on YouTube, or I'm doing sessions one-on-one with clients, I always hold that high standard for myself when I'm doing my work. Part of my work requires the art of discernment all the time. Part of being a human being requires the art of discernment all the time. So that's why I feel like this is a very appropriate video just to talk about on the channel here. For more information about me and the work that I do, my website is linked in the description box. It's DelleGoddessIntuitive.com. Please do like, share, and subscribe if you found this video to be helpful. There's lots of other content and things like that on the channel: readings, channel messages, heart-to-heart conversations. We also have our Spotify playlist, which is a playlist of all the songs that come through as channel messages from Spirit. That's linked in the description box as well. So part of being discerning, the art of discerning, is having this ability to choose whether or not something is good for you, not right for you, in your highest and greatest good. Should probably avoid that. It's not going to turn out well for me. But discerning is really being able to distinguish, okay, which path, which direction do I want to go in? And there's different clues and markers along the way that help you to be more discerning. Discerning comes from different places though, so that's why it's super important to understand first the position or the point that you are starting from when you are beginning the practice or the art of discernment for yourself. What I mean when I say this is something that you are discerning from the ego is going to look very different in outcome than something that you're discerning from your highest and greatest good or your soul's perspective. So it's very, very important to get a register or a reading or a feeling on whether or not you are leaning more towards your soul expression. Are you soul-led? Are you embodying more of your true self expression? Or are you acting out of a place of fear? Is the ego running the show? Because when you do discern, discerning is really just a matter of choice. It's going to look very different. So if you are residing in the ego, to discern whether or not you should take that job is going to look very different than if you're residing in the soul or acting from a place that is soul-led, whether or not you should take that job. One's going to produce different results depending on what's surrounding the environment and also around the things that you want. So it's very, very important to understand and know how you feel about certain things, where you stand, what your boundaries are with certain things. What am I willing to do? What am I not willing to do? That all falls under the umbrella of being a discerning person. It's also important to know what the truth is for yourself. That's also going to help with being more discerning. So if something is true for you, you might choose a different action than something else. So for example, if it's true for you that you are allergic to peanuts, this is just coming through as an example, you know that that's true for you, you accept this and you acknowledge this about yourself, you are highly allergic to peanuts. You're going to discern eating a dish like pad thai that definitely has crushed peanuts in it a lot of the times, depending where you go. You're going to discern that dish is not for my highest and greatest good, unless you want a reaction, but I don't think that you do. So you would be really exercising the art of discernment and choosing, no, I'm not going to do that. That's not for my highest and greatest good. What decision you are making, though, the frame of reference with that is you are making a decision based on your highest and greatest good. So that is your knowing, that is your truth. If you were to be in an energy where the ego is at play, and you were all about self-sabotaging, whether you were consciously aware of this or not aware of this consciously, you might choose to have that dish anyway because, so what if my face gets puffy, or so what if my tongue swells up, or so what if I break out into hives or I can't breathe? I love pad thai, it's delicious. So that would be discerning from a different kind of a truth. Your moral, your truth is residing in I love, everything that tastes great, whether or not it's healthy for me or conducive to my overall well-being. That is another way that you would discern that. So depending on what your truth is, where your compass is pointing, and where the origin point is, so where you stand about certain things, is going to affect how your discernment output or the product of your discernment looks. Kind of stemming from this too is alignment. So alignment's a word that gets thrown around a lot now. I'm in alignment, so things are working out for me. But it's important to distinguish and determine too, what is alignment for you? What are you actually aligning to? If you are aligning towards your highest and greatest good, do you know what that feels like to embody that or to encompass that energy? What does it feel like to be in alignment with your higher self? What does it feel like to embody your higher self? Are you able to understand and register when you're making decisions as your highest and greatest version of yourself? Or are you in this ego energy too that's sort of mimicking what your higher self is? Are you able to discern between the two, what one feels like versus the other? That's going to be really important, because as you are bringing in actions, or you're taking in actions to help with manifesting, so whatever it is you're trying to bring into your life creatively, it's going to look very different in the outcome depending what you are aligned to. So alignment needs that discerning as well as that distinguishing. Okay, I'm actually aligned to this, or I'm attuned to this. And that's why I want to call in, it could be anything. It could be a new job, for example. I want to align with my highest and greatest good, my truest self. So I'm asking my soul to lead me, to guide me on this. What action is best for me to take at this time to bring in my dream job that's going to make me happy. And then understanding that you might be given two different proposals for two different jobs. And it's like, it's hard to discern which one it is, but when you align with your truth, the truth that you want to be making your decisions from, the decision will become more clear. And then a final note on the art of discernment, this is a short video today, is also about taking action. So are you being guided to take an action to be more discerning? So if something is coming in, it's asking you to discern, so to choose between, okay, this or that, or, I should take this path, or I should hold off a little bit. What action are you being guided to take? Sometimes when we need to be discerning about something, we think we have to make a choice about something, this or that. That's not always the case. Sometimes with being discerning, we might have to temper back. We might have to hold back and say, you know what, I don't have enough information right now to actually make a wise or gainful decision or meaningful decision based on what I know currently. So discerning could also look like, I'm not feeling either one of these, so I'm not actually going to make a decision at all. You're actually looking at the bigger picture and taking a zoom out to see, okay, you know what, I'm unable to actually discern between the two, so I'm just going to reserve my energy right now, and I'm going to wait for a better opportunity, or one that feels more in alignment, or whatever is behind your motive to even make the decision in the first place. It could also feel too that, you know what, I'm uncertain, but I'm getting that I'm through this discernment of making a choice. I'm not feeling to make a decision right now, but tomorrow I'm going to revisit that and look at that. Or this is something that I don't have to choose right now. I can postpone this and put it off until tomorrow. It depends. So that's why the very beginning is super important to know what's the difference between your higher self or your soul self, your true self, and how your ego behaves. Because the ego is very good at putting on masks and acting and pretending to be like the higher self. So it might tell you things like, oh, you definitely want to take that spa vacation to Europe. That sounds wonderful. Who wouldn't want to do that? But your soul self knows, no, I'm working on finances and saving right now. That's a later plan. I would love to do that later. But the discerning, factor in that would be, okay, I actually value saving money right now, so I'm not going to spend a lot of money. It doesn't align with the values that I have. So I'm able to discern, now's not a good time for that. In the future, totally, I'm adding that to my wish list or my mood board or whatever it is. But right now, no, it doesn't align with my values. So with the art of discernment, just a quick recap, or kind of let's summarize all of this up in one go, is it's so important to know, all right, am I operating from my ego or am I operating from my soul? How do you feel? Do you know how you feel even when you do operate from your higher self? What does that feel like? Can you get a good register read on it in the body? Does your body guide you in different ways? Is it more gentle? Is it more loving? Is it more open? Do you have, expansion or contraction? Or, conversely, do you know how it feels in your body when you're operating from an ego point of view? Are you confusing fear with boundaries? Or are you actually placing a boundary, but it's bringing up a core wound over here? So really getting a good register about how these feelings come through the body and how you are feeling yourself and how you are able to feel consciously through the expression of yourself from an ego versus a soul standpoint. It's also important to honor what is true for you at this time. What do you value? Is it true for you, yes or no? Or is it true for somebody else? Are you actually discerning through the lens of somebody else? So did you just have a conversation with your best friend who values XYZ, and it's kind of tainted what you value, and they would pick that, so I want to pick that? Or are you set in your sovereignty? Are you able to make those decisions without the input or influence of everyone else around you? That is sovereignty. And then are you able to take action? Or are you able to then further discern, now's not the appropriate time to take action, I'm going to wait on that, I'm going to hold off. Or I'm going to wait until I receive more information and then make a discerning decision about it. But discerning is really leaning into, okay, it's kind of like how they say, like, walk it through or walk through the event. I've heard this come up in like addiction recovery kind of spaces like that. I've heard people who have been through different programs talk about this too, where it's like an alcoholic might decide to walk themselves through that drink. So instead of having the drink because they don't want to, their value is aligned to staying sober, they might think about, all right, let me walk through the drink. What does it feel like if I actually have this drink? And then they are able to therefore discern, okay, does the cost of that drink outweigh the benefits of not having that drink? And then going from there and then making the appropriate aligned and informed decision. But the informed decision actually comes from within, because we're leaning into, okay, how does that make us feel? And I kind of always go like this when I talk about feeling, because feeling is very fluid. It's like an emotion. So is there flow in the body, or is there resistance somewhere? And are you able to register that and see where that's stuck? So would you make a decision still if you are in a stuck place, or would you wait for flow to come in? So aligning with what's true for you and what feels right for you and best for you is going to really help you perfect your own art of discernment as it relates and pertains to you. I hope that this video was helpful. If it was, please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It just lets me know that it reached who it needed to reach and that you enjoyed it. So thank you so much. There's other informational videos like this on the channel. One of them is how to be more intuitive if you're looking to just tap and expand on your own intuitive abilities or your intuition. That's on the channel as well. I will link it below if you want to check that out. Until next time, stay well and take care.